But one thing that they had on another chapter was the ability to be able to orgasm without ejaculating. And when I read it, I was like, this is crazy. You know, if I can do this, then you can have all the pleasure without the downside. So I was like, okay, for men's self-improvement purposes, I'll test it out. So like 6-7 years ago, I gave it a try. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. A little bit of change of pace in this video. I'm going to be talking about specifically Taoism. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Tao religion, but some of their teachings I found like 8 years ago now, and I read their book. And one of the topics that they were talking about was the ability to be able to, they always talk about semen retention. They always talk about the importance of semen retention for youth, energy, success, etc., which is what I always promote to you guys. But one thing that they had on another chapter was the ability to be able to orgasm without ejaculating. And when I read it, I was like, this is crazy. You know, if I can do this, then you can have all the pleasure without the downside. So I was like, okay, for men's self-improvement purposes, I'll test it out. So like 6-7 years ago, I gave it a try. I've only just remembered it now. I did it for like a week. I managed to masturbate without ejaculating. It took a few practices, took a few tries, but it's not actually that hard to do. It's just under your penis, around about the gooch area under there. If you can strengthen that, and just as you're about to ejaculate, if you can tense that, nothing comes out, but you get all the pleasure. So the logical conclusion was from me, why aren't we doing this every single day? Like, why couldn't I just do this until oblivion, you know, and just see, you just get on with life and have all the benefits and of both sides? Well, life never works like that. Life never works like that when it comes to pleasure. You know, you can't eat sugar like you can't eat a sweetener, you know, a variation of sugar and be healthy. Like, it still has bad effects on your body. It's just, you can have both in terms of like, do you want a beautiful woman with a good personality? Yeah, you can have stuff like that in life. But when it comes to like the pleasure side, it's very tough to get away with that, guys. It's very, very tough, right? So I thought, oh, I found the perfect system. And you guys are probably listening to this now thinking, okay, well, you know, this whole NOFAP thing, waste of time. Why don't I just do this masturbation thing? I can have the best of both worlds. I can orgasm without ejaculating. I'm going to have the best life ever. Here's what I found. Yes, my energy levels didn't really drop. Yes, I was able to recover within like 2-3 minutes. And I felt fucking fantastic. And I was like, this is insane. Like, I can just keep going all day. Like, this, my next time having sex is going to be unbelievable. And it was, right? You can hold it in. And for sex, top of the run, okay? For sex, it's fucking unbelievable. Do it every single time if you can. You know, don't be weird about it. Just try and do it if you want. Usually, you got to do this usually with a partner, because otherwise, you know, the woman might feel like you think she's weird or whatever. But I guess if you're wearing a condom, doesn't really matter, right? But this is what I found, that the energy didn't really drop. I felt good. Like, all the benefits were there, except one. And this is the one reason why you shouldn't do this. Or at least, you know, if you are going to masturbate, do that technique. Maybe that's like once or twice a month. Your energy's through the roof. You're just like, I can't, like, whatever I think here, I have to masturbate or something. Then do that technique, right? It's better than not. But the one thing that I found when I was doing it repeatedly is that your motivation for life drops. So whether you're ejaculating or not, and you're holding all that energy and you still feel great, that dopamine cycle still fucked up my life. Like I say to you guys all the time, the ultimate goal in life is to reproduce. Like, genetically, biologically, you know, deep down in humans, in a primitive sense, all we want to do is just ejaculate inside a woman, babies on the way. Right, goal accomplished. As soon as you've had sex, you feel like the man, right? You have that same effect when you masturbate without ejaculating, where you've accomplished life's main goal. So when you normally masturbate and you ejaculate, you feel shameful afterwards. You've completed life's goal, and you go, I'm just going to sit around, do nothing, and I'm just going to bum around. My energy's gone. My enthusiasm for life's gone. Nothing feels as good. Motivation's gone. You get up the next morning, you're not as motivated, right? But when you masturbate without ejaculating, you think, oh, you know, I'm retaining all that energy, that health, whatever. the semen's going to still be inside me. Apparently it goes around the body and replenishes you, makes you look good, feel better. The Tao people believe, or Tao religion believe, that it can actually extend your life. I'm not sure about that, right? But when you do it, you still get that same dopamine burst where it's like, wow, that felt amazing. And you still have that low motivation. That's what I found. So my brain had said, ejaculate or not, we've had that orgasm, which has triggered something in my brain, dopamine, which has made me feel good and made me feel accomplished, as if I'm the type of man in life who gets a lot of sex. So if by the way that I was doing it every day for like a week or two to test this out, I remember I was like, God, I just don't want to do anything. I just feel low. I feel down. I don't have any energy. I don't feel motivated, because my brain believed that we were having sex on a daily basis. There's no reason to go and improve. So that kind of the sexual semen retention, the semen retention was still there. That energy, the benefits that you get from semen going back around the body if it's not used, that's still there. But that motivation for life, that drive, that sexual energy to get out of bed and go and chase fucking millions, or go and chase a goal, or draw a piece of art or something, so that you know, just expressive creativity from sexual energy, that gone. That completely gone. And that is why, you know, that method sounds like a dream. But if anybody's come across it and they think, okay, that's a tactic, don't do it. Because there's another theory. A lot of guys say, oh, I masturbate and then I have a whole dose of zinc and it makes my body feel great within a few hours, and I can do it daily. Okay, but you're still going to have that effect where your body goes, or your brain goes, okay, we've had sex, it's fine. And you're going to lose that ferocity, that cat-like, that lion-like motivation for life, where your clock hits 5 a.m. and you're like, bang, let's go. What can we work on? All right, I'm going in the gym. I'm going to be like a fucking beast. You lose that. You become like a cow. You become docile. It's not nice. You want to be like a bull, ranger bull all day. And that's what these other techniques do. So yes, I think use them when you're having sex. I think definitely. I think if you're deadly serious about your health, I've got a supplement coming out for this soon. But if you're deadly serious about your health, take zinc, you know, not immediately after sex. You might look like a weirdo, right? But, you know, if you want it just before you go to bed, take it. Or replenish you, you'll feel better. If you can orgasm without ejaculating, the woman's going to love you, because you can do that like 6-7 times in a row. She's going to think you're a beast, okay? And it is doable, because I've done it. You won't get it right the first time. If you do, you're a monster. But it'll probably take some practices, but that's all good fun too. And I'm not saying practice with the masturbation. I'm saying practice with sex or whatever, or just learn about it a bit more. Because otherwise it's a dangerous game. But anybody who thinks that, oh, okay, this is Pleasure Island, I can just masturbate every day, I can just do whatever I want, and I can still be a ferocious beast and accomplish all these goals, NOFAP's a waste of time. It's not true. It's not true, because I tested it, I guinea pigged it in the name of science and pleasure. And it just doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work, because it works for like the first 1 or 2 tries, but you know, if you start going down that route and it becomes addictive, it's just like normal porn or masturbation, it becomes addictive. And it was hard to actually get out of that cycle, because you mentally, you trick yourself and say, well, I'm not losing ejaculation here or ejaculate, so I should be fine. And you keep tricking yourself thinking you'll be all right. But then you look back and you're like, what did I do last week? I had a slow week. I didn't actually do a lot. You know, I laid in bed for an extra hour longer. You know, that became a bit more of an addiction. You're still watching things like porn for motivation, because obviously you become bored over time. It's the exact same cycle, and you still have that loss of motivation for life. It's just your energy levels don't deplete, so you end up somewhat doing it more, and it becomes more dangerous. So the Taoist religion is fantastic, but I think the methods that they're talking about there, it doesn't work in the modern era. I think if you're trying to be a successful guy who's hitting the gym, who's chasing after life, who wants to be a success, who wants to be driven, approach real women, I think it doesn't work for that. I think you need that cat-like, like I said, that lion-like motivation to get out of bed in the morning, go and achieve stuff, accomplish. Now, if you're having real sex, it's fantastic. But for masturbation, whatever, if anybody's coming across this and they're thinking, can I do the both together? Don't. I've tried it. But for sex, it's amazing.